The Great Gatsby, Chapter 2 Analysis by Anthony Grillo and Zack. Chapter 2 Summary. Nick opens this chapter describing the land that lies between the West Egg and New York City. He calls it the Valley of Ashes, and above this bleak landscape is the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg. He talks about this because he is traveling to the city with Tom, who insists on stopping to show Nick his mistress, Myrtle. Myrtle is George Wilson's wife, who is doing some car work for Tom. When they finally get to the city, they head to the adulterous sex appointment and meet up with others. This is where Nick reveals he lives in West Egg, while he is drunk, and then goes on about parties Gatsby throws. The Valley of Ashes Symbolism. The Valley of Ashes between West Egg and New York City consists of a long stretch of desolate land created by the dumping of industrial ashes. It represents the moral and social decay that results from the uninhibited pursuit of wealth, as the rich indulge themselves with regard for nothing but their own pleasure. The Valley of Ashes also symbolizes the plight of the poor, like George Wilson, who live among the dirty ashes and lose their vitality as a result. The eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg symbolism. The eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg are a pair of phantom speckled eyes painted on an old advertising billboard over the Valley of Ashes. They may represent God staring down upon and judging American society as a moral wasteland, though the novel never makes this point explicitly. Instead, throughout the novel, Fitzgerald suggests that symbols only have meaning because characters instill them with meaning. The connection between the eyes of Dr. T.J. Eckelberg and God exists only in George Wilson's grief-stricken mind. This lack of concrete significance contributes to the unsettling nature of the image. Thus, the eyes also come to represent the essential meaninglessness of the world and the arbitrariness of the mental process by which people invest objects with meaning. Chapter 2 Characterization. This chapter begins to develop more characters than the previous one. Fitzgerald's characterization of Nick is done well because I can see him as being a real person. He also does a good job of characterizing Tom and Myrtle, since they are having an affair. He is using a real-life situation to make the characters seem real. Chapter 2 Conflict. The main conflict of this chapter is that the adulterers, Tom and Myrtle, do not love their spouses, and they have to hide the fact that they are having an affair with each other, which causes more conflict. Another form of conflict is the peer pressure that gets Nick drunk in this chapter. Evaluation of Fitzgerald's Chapter 2. We think that this chapter was good because he gave lifelike descriptions of the characters, and also put them in real-life situations to make the story seem real. It was also good because the characters were well developed through the chapter. Why we chose this song. In this chapter, the reader meets Myrtle, Tom's mistress, and her sister. This chapter is mainly about the affair of Myrtle and Tom. Catherine tells Nick about how neither Myrtle nor Tom loves their spouses, and that Tom would leave Daisy if she were not Catholic. In actuality, Tom does not want to leave his wife. He just wants Myrtle to stay his dirty little secret. When Tom and Myrtle get into the fight about Daisy, Tom does not want Myrtle to talk about his wife, which shows that he wants Myrtle to not tell anyone or she'll be another regret.